You were moved. User joined your channel.
Alright, here to the iRacing Series season finale for season number 1. 4 drivers tonight. We're going to fight for that top spot for the championship, the first ever championship of the iRacing E Series. So, interesting to see who's able to be crowned the champion here tonight. Using the Xfinity cars at Daytona under the lights. As basically works way down to pit road, Ryan Worley and Tommy Gossa on the front row. Unfortunately, cannot do the starting grid because of the fact that had some issues with TeamSpeak, unfortunately, but we are going green here, and Ryan Worley gets the jump on the field, getting pushed there by Nathan Stewart in that number 13 Air Force Chevrolet. Lap 1 out of 100, the longest race here ever in the iRacing Series, the best of my knowledge at least. Usually not 100 laps, so long race here, but so for that trophy. And there's a real-life trophy, actually, that will be sent to the champion after tonight. So definitely looking forward to that, to say the least. As you see, Ryan Worley looks like he can lead the first lap here, getting pushed by Nathan Stewart there and Zach Borman. Currently the top 4 single file on the inside lane, but could very easily change here. So far, so good here from Daytona. But kind of single file play, nice and easy. As we're going to look here at our chase drivers really quickly. Unfortunately, with this issue with TeamSpeak, I was not able to quickly throw up a little thing for you guys to look at who are the chase drivers, but I can read them off to you right now. Your 4 chase drivers are Chris Edgepair in the 38, Taylor Kahn in the 33, Jeffrey McConey, and Eric Reinhardt. So those are your 3 chase drivers, and currently the highest out of all of them at the current moment is Eric Reinhardt, sitting right there in that number 7 and 10 on the outside behind Tommy Gossett, excuse me. So he is currently your championship leader, still early on in this race. Jeff McConey, though, right there behind. You see that different paint scheme there for that 76 Chevy Camaro. Got some light blue and white on it instead of green. Looking pretty nice, but he's trying to get the race lead away, but to pass the other white and blue car right there, that's Lieutenant Eric Reinhardt. So these two guys, along with the 38 Chris Litchfield, who's currently back here in this Nationwide Insurance Chevy. And then back behind all of these guys is the 33 of Terry Khan by himself in the Wrangler car. Trying to sit in the back, looks like. Remember, these guys only do have one faster pair, so not much of a backup in case I get taken out in a couple crashes. So these guys will have to be kind of careful about that. And we're going to have to see how this all works out. And as Dan Stewart looks like he's going to try to make a move to the race. He goes in front of Tommy Goss and Eric Reinhardt. Gets a great push to the trial, but he's to lead at the first lap. He's led tonight. And now we have the first lead change as well. It looks like he's going to get cleared. Drops down in front of Ryan Worley right there. And Tommy Goss on the outside of Ryan Worley, but Eric Reinhardt kind of falling a little bit behind there in that draft. As you right on board now with the 26th entry here. And yeah, Carlos is very true. This plate tracks, they're always very sketchy, to say the least. And of course, when you have a series that's pretty much just plate tracks, it gets pretty wild. You're going to see some great moves here tonight. It's really fun as it looks like we have a gyro cam on this 26 here. Excuse me, this 10 of Zach Borman. He's actually now moved into the race lead. Running the outside lane currently, battling Nathan Stewart for that race lead, but he had to lead a little bit right there going down the back straightaway. Now looks like the 13 has gained it back, but can the 10 get the run off the corner and take that spot from him at the stripe? Looks like he gets a great run going into the travel, and the drag race across the line looks like is going to go to the 13. However, Nathan Stewart, maybe not. We're very close, to say the least. Yeah, the plate tracks always really determine what strategy you have. Do you stay in the back towards the start of the race, or do you go up to the front right from the get-go and try to stay in the very front? We saw last week Jeffrey McConey at Talladega. He stayed in the front all race long to not get caught up in a single crash, and I believe he finished in about second or third place there. So it's really tough to say. So how you feel? Do you sit in the back and try to hope for some crashes and stay out of that pack, or try to stay in front of all the crashes? It's really tough choice, because a lot of times you do have crashes in the race lead, but a lot of times if you're in the back, you end up losing the draft or something and aren't able to make much happen, especially if it goes green for a long way. So it's really a risk versus reward, and Nathan Stewart holds up. Eric Reinhardt holds on to that chase lead at the moment. First out of 4 so far in this one, but still only going to be on lap number 10 next time by. So not a tenth of the way through this race yet. Still always to go, but so far we've been clean green. Some great racing so far at the front of the pack as Zach Borman got clear of Nathan Stewart, dropped down in front of him. So that's going to put Eric Reinhardt now pushing Tommy Goss with the help of Douglas Carlson and Chris Ingles and Brendan Dennis. As you see, a lot of these guys have been in the chase this season, such as the 01 right there of Tascosa, unfortunately eliminated, I believe, in the first round, maybe the second round. And just a lot of guys had great seasons, but unfortunately they're not going to be able to fight for a championship tonight. But those 4 drivers, again, being Chris Litchfield, Terry Khan, Jeff McConey, Eric Reinhardt for the DCH Crane final round of 4. And there's no bonus points at all tonight. So whoever finishes the highest, if you lead a lap, does not get you a bonus point for at least the 4 chase drivers. Tommy Gossi now goes to race lead, getting pushed by Eric Reinhardt, but no extra bonus points for those chase drivers. No points getting the pole, no points for leading a lap or anything like that. As you see the excellent, really check up right there, and that's going to cost them that run that they had. As you ride on board now with the 3 of Tommy Gossett. You push Eric Reinhardt there in that Toyota Camry. There's Carlson now making a run, but it's got Chris Ingles right behind him. We kind of stacked up though on the outside, pretty close together now. Actually, 3 wide. It looks like Nathan Stewart took it through the middle right there, and Tommy Gossett. I did not even notice that. So 10 laps completed here now, 11 this time by from Daytona. Still a long ways left. We're already the first 3 wide moves of the race is now. Tommy Gossett looks like he wants to try to see that spot back. Was pushing Nathan Stewart right there through the trial. Got a little bit loose, scrolling up. Kind of pushed up the racetrack and got him all squirrely. And now he's taking 3 wide and take that spot right back. So then Nathan Stewart now going to fall in line behind him and either push him or try to get, try to pull the same move pretty much. And hopefully these guys are just take it nice and easy and don't end up crashing here. So obviously what we do not want to see. As Nathan Stewart looked at the outside and Tommy Gossett, but does not have the drafting help that he needs to be able to make that move. As you see this pack still double file and pretty aggressive, but nothing too crazy besides kind of the 3 to 13 having a duel together. But so far, Zach Borman holds on to the race lead. Nothing has gotten out of the ordinary, so to speak. A good hard racing so far, and nothing pretty enjoyable to watch. As Tommy Gossett now, they get a pretty good push right there. Nathan Stewart and Eric Reinhardt trying to go for race lead, but not able to quite get there. And he's kind of been stuck on the outside much of this race, kind of just pushing people, not being able to get pushed through the race lead. And it's kind of unfortunate when you have that feeling because you feel like you're just being used to get at the front, and then nobody wants to really work with you and help you out. But right now, at the current moment, unless Ryan really goes in front of him here, I do not believe he's going to get cut off. So he can try to just get pushed, but it's not like seem like he's able to get pushed. He can only really push because people behind just not quite doing a good job. As you see now, Corey Smith though go up in front of him right there, as he got clear of Tommy Gossett. So Tommy Gossett is going to push him with the hope of Nathan Stewart as well and try to get him to the race lead. But as soon as he gets the race lead, he's just going to drop down low and pretty much ditch Tommy Gossett. So unless Nathan Stewart can push Tommy Gossett at the race lead, it's not going to work. You kind of notice as soon as Corey Smith went up the top lane, Nathan Stewart got right in the rear bumper now of Tommy Gossett. And of course, the 15 and the 13 being teammates, that's not surprising me really much in the least. So now, Corey Smith goes back down to the bottom. Nathan Stewart are going to kind of check up and actually leave a gap and not push Tommy Gossett ahead of Corey Smith. So some teamwork there and some team strategy, and that's probably the most frustrating thing right now for Tommy Gossett. And I can definitely say I've had that experience of teammates working together and kind of just ditching and really costing a lot of spots. And Anthony Alfredo gets clear of him. Ryan really gets clear of him. Do any of these guys decide to make a run as well? But so far, so good here. 15 laps under the green flag. There's not Anthony Alfredo. Looks like he's going to move to the top side of the racetrack right there in front of Tommy Gossett. And again, another one of the teammates of Nathan Stewart, so you're going to see Nathan Stewart push him, and team strategy. It would not surprise me if this is actually strategic, and you see Nathan Stewart back off, the guy on the inside gets clear, it's 15 to 54, Nathan's teammates, both Nathan's teammates, and then they back off, they push that guy on the outside to the race lead, and then as soon as they get clear of the guy on the inside, then Nathan Stewart, as you see right now, backs off, and is going to fall behind Tommy Gossett. So now Tommy Gossett is going to lose a bunch of time and fall back. So now 1, 2, 3 is McConey Motorsports, and along with their satellite team, if you include the 15 and the 13, their satellite team as well, of course, right there. Their satellite team that's currently not being used, actually, so I don't know if they really have that anymore or still doing it or what, but nice and to get to the inside behind Ryan Worley, as now looks like Zach Bourne, though, is going to go to the outside in front of Tommy Gossett, with Eric Reinhardt also up there on the outside, so interesting to see what he can do without any teammates working behind him. Tommy Gossett, a great job pushing so far this race. Unfortunately for him, he's not been able to get the push he needs to try to go for the race lead. Chanting up front, Zach Bourne, a couple of teammates here battling for the race lead with help from Corey Smith and others behind. You see Ryan Worley has some connection issues. He's blinking out on the apron. Luckily, he was able to get out of harm's way, and we do not have a wreck there as a result. But unfortunately for him, he's going to lose a lot of time because of that. Some issues for Ryan Worley. Looks like he's caught back. He's come back. He's good to go now. But unfortunately for him, he's lost the draft entirely. So goes all in front, in front and fifth, back to dead last, and without a drafting partner. So now he's in need of a caution. We also saw Taz Kessler go lose right there on the outside and luckily able to save it. Sorry, Chris Engels. Taz Kessler almost got in the back of him right there, but we stay clean and green for now, and almost a fifth way through this race. Still great racing so far, and so far not had a single caution or really even come close to one. So. Going to see the top 5 cars now on the inside get clear. So the question is, will any of them go up in front of that 10? Now you see Taylor Kahn coming up here making some moves. Is Douglas Carlson now going to chop him right there? And Zach Bowman faked them both, went to the inside. So now Taz Kessler, Taylor Kahn up here, battling for position, trying to gain the chase lead, and currently has that over Eric Reinhardt. Who's just 2 cars behind him, and then 3 cars behind him is that 76 Jeffrey McConey. I think Chris Etchefer is still towards the back here. Just playing nice and easy. Actually, to the back now. He's right behind Jeffrey McConey, so he chased Showers up to go in the outside lane. As Douglas Carlson looks like he might just get pushed to the race lead by Taylor Kahn. We're going to complete lap number 20 here. 80 laps to go from Daytona. Usually the length, I believe, we actually race here in the iRacing series, but extra length race at the finale. Put in a great show, and I'm definitely doing that right now. So if we know Carlson, though, so he kind of lost the draft a little right there. He's going to fall behind. He's a look from the eye in the sky here in the blimp camera. You can see some of these guys towards the back. A lot of those guys are teammates, kind of just working together, trying to stay out of the lead pack in case there's a crash. You see now Cody Smith go in front of that 29 of Douglas Carlson. He's trying to go to the race lead now. This gives a huge run. Not quite able to get pushed enough to take over that race lead from Anthony Alfredo, as his teammate Nathan Stewart pushed him on the inside, and Zach Bourne. So now Zach Bourne actually on the inside. I wonder if Cody Smith's going to let his teammate by and then try to fall in line behind him. Now Eric Reinhardt, though, looks like he's going to get a huge run on the inside. He's going to pass a couple guys. Passes Taylor Kahn, that 33 Wrangler Chevrolet, for that chase lead at the moment. But still, like I mentioned before, a long ways of racing left to go here. As 0-3 wide, though, Tommy Gossett and Taylor Kahn made some contact right there. And Taylor Kahn tried coming up when he was not quite clear on the 3 of Tommy Gossett, and somehow they were able to keep it together. That's huge for the 33 Taylor Kahn, of course, being one of the chase drivers. Needs to have a great run and not tear up his stuff here. As Taylor, Tommy Gossett took a 3 wide to the middle right there, and then 33 tried coming down in front of the final. Chris Nichols was not quite clear. Now he stuffs it in the outside wall. So Taylor Khan having some issues here. Went from being in the chase lead to getting taken 3 wide, almost wrecking himself by accident a couple of times, and he scraped the wall right there. And luckily, he was able to keep it up there. Did a great job to save it, and they did a great job of trying to avoid it as well. So now he falls a little bit to the back of this pack, and currently, actually, I believe, last out of the chase drivers, besides 38. 3 such players currently just staying down the pack, but still, like I mentioned, a long ways to go. Chase Sharp's not a huge concern at the moment. And there's just so much left of racing. There's a 3x3 here, back behind, and Eric Reinhardt in the middle of that as well. Looks like he's going to get clear of the 93 of Ryan Keller on the inside. So now he goes down low. Looks like Brendan Dennis looking to try to make a 4 wide right there, but decided better over. He's going to back out of that. But now it looks like he's going to get clear of the inside lane. So does he drop down behind the 30 of Bobby Hash, or does he follow the 10 of Zach Borman through the middle? It looks like he's going to fall in line now behind that 30 of Bobby Hash. So the 10 of Zach Borman now has no drafting help. 3 wide in the middle. So the 45, Roy Geese in the back, trying to make a 3 wide. He's not quite clear, though. He's going to turn himself, and nope, not going to save it. Right into Jeffrey McConey with your chase Shires. Jason Pack is a lot of damage. Jeffrey McConey get into the 45. And the 45 flips. Chris Edgeberg gets a piece of it as well. Cody Smith goes to Perro to avoid, and no caution flag somehow. I'm not sure if Race Fisher's going to throw one or not, but we watched that live. And unfortunately, I did not have the
What is the caution for?
apologies for that.
Fun now. Really?
But unfortunately for some of these guys, it's run place, run time pretty much. As that was just 3 wide, and it's getting pretty aggressive, and kind of knew that was going to happen. So almost a quarter way through the race, see the first caution flag come out, and it's for the 45 of Rick Eason, is not quite clear. As I'm trying to get it here for you guys. 45 of Rick Eason, not quite clear of the 93 of Ryan Keller, and just came down across his nose here. You can see the rod in the middle, and he tries to come down a little bit into the 93, and he's kind of like getting a little bit loose, and the rod in the middle is pretty tough, and then comes down across the nose of 93, just not quite clear. They make contact, and if it goes down low to try to avoid turning around, and it looks like they had it saved right here, but unfortunately the 45 just still was sideways. He split back down the track into the 93, so the 93 kind of came up back on the banking, and then that caused him to go straight to the racetrack, across the nose, and into the wall, with Jeffrey McConey. See all the damage down to that 45. Then he comes down, hits the one on Jason Papp, goes back up towards the outside wall in front of Jeffrey McConey, and then Jeffrey McConey nowhere to go, hits him again and launches him actually into the air. It looks like Taylor Khan got some netcode damage. He didn't even get a piece of that, but he hit nothing pretty much, and it just destroyed his car. As you see Regeeson flipping, and Chris Hedgeberg barely hits him as he's upside down. So a wild ride there for that 33, excuse me, that 45 of Regeeson. As again, just pretty wild crash here. So take a different look at it now. Was not quite clear. It looked like right here he had it saved, but he was still sideways. 93 was coming back up on the onto the banking as he just wasn't able to keep it down there. And unfortunately for Jeffrey McConey, just wrong place, wrong time, nowhere to go, right in the back. And then he slides down the racetrack. I guess he just thought he was clear, and down to the side of Jason Papp. Then he goes back up towards the outside wall. You're going to see right here the 33 of Taylor Khan. If I can try to get him under the thing here. You see right there, he hit absolutely nothing, but some random net code kind of just came into play right there. And he got a bunch of damage, looks like, out of that. You see the whole right side kind of tore up right there. I'm trying to see if we can get it. You see the whole front end all destroyed on that 33. A lot of damage, a good 30 seconds or so of optional damage for Taylor Khan, and it was just net code. He didn't even hit a single thing, but that's just unfortunately that's what happens in iRacing. Let's take a better look at it here on board now with the 33. Slowed down, a great job to slow down in time. Everything was good, then he just hit absolutely nothing, and he got a bunch of damage from it, and that's just really unfortunate. I'm gonna ride on board now with the 38 as well, Chris Etchepair. Right here behind the 84 of Xavier Trapp, and again trying to stay out of all the crashes and whatnot. And you see the car start to spin. Look like they save it, so he gets back in the throttle. They start wrecking again, and then he backs off, and then just clips in the right front. I do not believe there's too much damage on the nose of his car. You can see right there, I don't even see a scratch on it really to speak of, so he's pretty much good to go. I cannot say the same about the 76 or the 33. Diego Vasquez, unfortunately, looks like he has lost connection. And you see the damage now. Again to that 33 of Sherry Khan, just wrong place, wrong time, and didn't even hit anything, and he got damage out of it. Jeff McConey, you saw him get a pretty good piece of that as well. So he used a faster pair, so that was his only shot at the faster. Remember, we talked to him last week, and he was trying to just go for it. You know, he didn't want to sit in the back or anything because they felt like it just was not going to give him the chance. So unfortunately for him, got that faster pair now taken away, but still has a chance to win the championship here. Actually, see if we can't get a word in here with him under this caution flag.
User was
Jeff
moved
McConey,
to
got a
your
copy.
channel.
Yes, I do have a copy. How's it going?
Doing pretty good up here in the booth, but for you, unfortunately, got caught up in that last crash there. Just wrong place, wrong time, and looked like you had to use your faster pair there. So just walk us through what your plan is here for the rest of the race.
Well, yeah, I did have to use my faster pair. My engine RPMs were running low. I had engine damage, so the strategy we decided to go with is I've been able to run most of these races clean with 0Xs, and I've led most of the laps in the past 2 races. More laps than anyone else, as I understand it, in the past 2 races. So I want to get up back to the front. I'm currently running first of the chase drivers, so the plan is to stay in front of those guys and keep it clean the rest of the race. If that doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out, and the priority will shift to just a win for McConey Motorsports tonight, and the champion will be who they are. But until then, the team goal is a championship. I'm running it for these guys tonight is the goal. And if that doesn't work out, then we're going to try and take the race.
Absolutely, and of course, I mentioned that being the first of the chase drivers of the current moment. Wish you best of luck here.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Hopefully, I'll talk to you at the end.
All right, talk to you later.
Thank you. Goodbye.
User was moved out.
So that was 76, Jeff McConey. You don't mind the fact that TeamSpeak wants to audio bomb my broadcast here, but I forgot to wasn't able to get that all fixed before because got a new motherboard, as most of you guys knew if you follow our Facebook page. Got a new motherboard, got a new RAM, got a new processor and everything. And you can see the graphics here in this broadcast definitely way better. I feel like the quality is definitely way better. I'm pretty sure I can start streaming at 1080p. We're going to try that out on Monday, but unfortunately, Atchison on Monday was not able to go as I had some software issues with Windows. That's gone fixed. I actually fixed it about an hour before I started this broadcast. Luckily, we were able to get this one done, and it fantastic. You definitely cannot miss this one. So, again, of course, fortunately, we couldn't get the whole race in on Monday, the broadcast, but we're back here nevertheless. And, of course, next Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern will be Las Vegas race number 3 in the Ashburn Sports Cup Series. But Nathan Stewart, we feel back to the green flag here for the first restart of the night. Green flag and a wave. We're away now from Daytona once again. And quickly gotta just do this, don't mind me. Back up now through the gears, up to 4th gear. Nathan Stewart holds on the race. Lead with Brennan Dennis right there behind him. And then you have 30 Bobby Hash, Carlson, Taz Kessler, Grippa Konya all up on the outside, working together as well. Right here, Jeff Falcone just needs to have a clean race, the rest of this race, and he has a championship locked up. Right, don't look now. It's right behind him. Eric Reinhardt's right behind him as well, but Bobby Hash almost came down and hooked Nathan Stewart right there. Very close racing for the race lead, and I'm sure that 76 and the 7 and 10 right there, especially the 76, without a fast spare, kind of had a heart attack right there. But I do believe that Taylor Khan did not use a fast spare under that last caution. And indeed he did not. So he's actually lost the draft here with all the damage. So he pretty much needs to have a caution here pretty quickly. And I'm kind of surprised that he did this because of how bad the damage is. Maybe he just didn't know how bad it was. But again, unfortunately, it was just net code. He didn't even hit a single thing, but then he got damage out of it. And so that's going to cost him here. But right then, it's gets pushed to the race lead by that 38 Bobby Hash in front of Nathan Stewart and Chris Ingles. Ingles, 2. 31 laps completed here from Daytona, not even close to halfway yet. So look at the top 5 at the current moment. Yeah, so far, so good. Bobby Hash trying to push the 25 top 5 at the current moment. Brendan Dennis right there. There's a huge checkup on the inside lane. That might cause a crash. 93 sideways. And he hangs onto it. Great job there by that 93, that being Ryan Keller, I believe. And indeed it was. Ryan Keller with a great save right there. It's kind of just a huge checkup on the inside. I'm quite sure what exactly caused all of that, but a huge checkup on the inside that's going to now let Douglas Carlson get the race lead. But a huge checkup for your race leaders, and that stack up the whole field. So now a lot of guys have kind of actually lost the draft here, but so far so good as far as crashes go besides that first one. See, Terry Conlon actually, he used a fast spare, decided to head down period, but now he's going to go a lap down. Oh, because on the apron is going to cause a huge crash. Terry Khan, oh my goodness. About 4 cars flipped. Jeffrey McConey taken out in that. And that was just purely a mistake by one of your chase drivers. Taylor Khan went down on the apron to try to get out of harm's way, but he just was carrying too much speed, and he can't back up on the racetrack. That takes out pretty much your entire field, as Jeffrey McConey is all tore up. Remember, without a faster pair, now Taylor Khan as well. As he is completely destroyed. Jeffrey McConey pretty much can eliminate himself from the chase. Unfortunately, just heartbreaking, as he's on a great run here tonight. I'm not even quite sure the 33 if he let off the gas or what. That was just so super weird. And Jeffrey McConey now again used that one and only fast spare towards the start of the race. And that first crash we just had, and he got caught up in it, wasn't his fault, and now second crash. Looks like Taylor Khan, actually, his car is spotless somehow, and he's the one who killed the whole field run. So it looks like the back end's a little bit damaged, but yeah, that was just, I think it was probably just an accident, but that devastating for a lot of these chase drivers here. I'm gonna take a look back at it now. So, just a freak accident pretty much here at Daytona. And, it just, you're going to see right here, here is the 33 Taylor Khan, winner of the chase, final 4 drivers, him, the 38, the 710, and the 76. And you see, he's trying to go down the apron to get out of harm's way. He just used his fast for just getting off the road. He's all good to go. Tries to go on the apron to get out of harm's way, but just is carrying too much momentum, too much speed, And he goes back up onto the racetrack, right into Douglas Carlson, and then gets turned and just nowhere for any of these drivers to go. Everybody piling in, as it just happened last second, which I guess kind of a page, if so to speak. Douglas Carlson goes upside down. Just McConey there, you see where he gets involved. And then all of these guys just piling in with nowhere to go. You see Brandon Dennis looks like he goes up in two wheels, maybe even upside down. It looks like he does go upside down. He flips over on his roof. Then Chris Engels goes upside down onto his roof. So just everybody tore up here. Anthony Alfredo spinning. You see Nathan Stewart spinning. Taz Kessler, he's destroyed. Eric Reinhardt, his car is destroyed. So there goes his fastest pair. I see Rick East coming in late, slamming into the 95 of Brandon Dennis. Then you see Eric Reinhardt getting a bigger piece of it right there as he hits Taz Kessler. And just Terry Caron actually looks like he has put it behind the wall. It looks like he got black flagged a lap by race officials, and he has now decided, however, to put it behind the wall. As there's a freak accident, to say the least, here from Daytona, and it's going to take, it involves your chase drivers. You started it all, and it takes out pretty much every other chase driver, I believe. He's right on board now with the 33 of Taylor Khan for this one. He's letting off the gas a little bit, but just carrying too much speed. Of course, being down that bank end is just it's not enough to carry your car, and you see just runs into the field by accident. And fortunately, it's going to take out pretty much your entire field here and make everybody have to use that one and only fast spare. And some guys who don't have a fast spare left, like Jeff McConey, it's going to pretty much take him out of this race. So, heartbreak there, to say the least. Chris Ingles also put it behind the wall. So, going through a rundown now. Looks like the highest running chase driver at the current moment is the 11th place, the 38 of Chris Etcheper. I do not believe, I don't know if he used a fast spare there or not. I think he did have to. I'm pretty sure that took pretty much the entire field. Eric Reinhardt now coming out with all that damage. He's going to have to use a fast spare here if he doesn't want to lose the draft, because that car is pretty much all tore up here. And then, of course, you see right there, Jeff McConey. His night is over. And, the broadcaster's curse, I guess, continues. As he is destroyed. It's really unfortunate. Freak accident, to say the least. And started by a chase driver, takes out a chase driver, and gets damaged to two. So, definitely some drama here into the chase finale here. From Daytona, looks like Eric Reinhardt did in fact use his fast spare on that pit. No, he did not. No fast spare for the 7 minutes. Eric Reinhardt in that front end is just pancaked, so it really surprised me that he did that. But either way, a lot of non-chase drivers at the front. It looks like most of them escaped it. Bobby Hash, Zach Borman, Greg McConey, Douglas Carlson used the fast spare right there. And Cody Smith, your top 5. Let's go through their first commercial break this time by, however. Right back for the restarts. Do not go away.
Championship to Ryan Luza. Is a four-time champion.
clear. Punch it. Great job. You did really well.
We'll go over the iRacing East Series race number 20 from Daytona, the season finale here. As the green flag's going to come back out for just the second restart of tonight's. Just 10 laps before halfway now, as we're on lap number 39. Zach Bourne immediately goes in behind Bobby Hash after the restart. Because Carlson down the first car on the outside lane, a push there by Ryan Keller. Kind of looks like Eric Reinhardt, though, staying in the draft here, even with all that damage on the nose of that Toyota Camry. The current moment is right behind Cruz Hernandez Jr. in that number 8 Red Bull Chevrolet. And I guess if you sit behind somebody, you don't really have to deal with that front end damage too much. It's not spread out and spread apart. A lot of guys, unfortunately, taken out there with that damage. However, currently not much straight away here. This time by it's going to be 40 laps to go. Zach Bourne and the entire McCartney Motorsports crew goes to the outside and ditches Bobby Hash. You see this perfectly timed move right there out of those 3 drivers, all teammates. Cody Smith in the 15, Greg McConey in the 12, and then Zach Bourne in that 10. All made that move perfectly timed. Unfortunately, Anthony Alfredo's not going to quite follow them unless he can get in front of Douglas Carlson here. But now all 3 of them going to get clear of the 30 Bobby Hash, drop down in front of him now. Anthony Alfredo not able to quite follow his teammates, however, so he's stuck behind the 30 who's separating that whole group. And then right behind Anthony Alfredo is Ryan Worley, but right behind him then you have Taz Kessler and no one their teammates. And a couple of cars back is the 13 Nathan Stewart. So McLaren Motorsports showing their dominance here once again in the iRacing East Series as they continue to grow as a team. Team is what you need here. It's a huge check inside once again. Looks like Anthony Alfredo, Bobby Hash kind of checked up right there along with Cody Smith, and that caused Ryan Worley, Taz Kessler kind of get in the back of each other right there. But so far, in this run, no crash at the moment. So now on lap number 42 out of 100. A 250-mile-long race here from Daytona, the longest iRacing E-Series has ever had. And for good reason, of course, being a season finale event. Definitely what you usually want. We're going now with Bobby Hash in the 30 entry. Underneath Douglas Carlson, currently trying to push. Trying to get himself clear of Douglas Carlson so he can finish go up in front of him here. Doesn't like clearly do that. Looks like he's actually kind of just riding behind these guys, letting off the gas, trying to save some fuel potentially and just not pushing it. It's a very conservative strategy out of the 30 Bobby Hash. As now Greg McConey actually going to go around his teammate of Zach Bourne, but he's going to get chopped a little bit right there. And now Douglas Carlson is going to try to push him, but going up in the middle of the corner is not usually the best place to try to make a run for the race lead, but run off the corner definitely is going to help him here. As it looks like he actually might just get pushed through the race lead. Indeed he does, but now can he get clear of his teammate Zach Bourne? No, he cannot. So now he's going to continue to try to battle for that spot. So teams working together, but definitely teammates not willing to stay in line behind each other for a long period of time. They want to go up here and race, put a good show for the fans and everything, and have some fun while doing it. So might as well, and as long as it's not too aggressive, you know, no harm, no foul at all. So I think Chase Jarvis here, Colin has put it behind the wall. Jeffrey McConey looks like he is still on pit road trying to get repairs done, so he's out. Now it's just down to 2 drivers, that being the 38 of Chris Etchberry. Cruz Jr. now jumps down below the apron, but Cruz Jr., Chris Etchberry and Eric Reinhardt right there in front of him. 12th and 15th currently, but their final 2 Chase drivers are made in contention for this one. The 7-10 with all that front end damage from that crash. Still has a fast spare in the bank in case he needs it, but definitely might just need it here. Actually, as the leader is getting really really racy up here at the front. Zach Borna goes to the outside from his teammate Cody Smith. As Anthony Alfredo is up there with them, so I guess they're trying to get their whole team up in the outside lane. And Zach Borna, they're going to block the inside of Bobby Hash. He's going to take that inside lane back now as 30 almost goes up into the 15 right there. Try and get clear to try and make a run on him, but not quite able to do so. As you know, huge check with the inside. Taz Kessler goes 3 wide in the middle right there. And just barely was clear of the 13, the 29 to try and squeak around one and go in front of the other, but already managed to make it work. So now has Kessler up there with his teammates as well. Now it's Zach Borman and Nathan Stewart, who's not part of that team. But Tommy Gossett gonna get turned, if I can speak, and he saves it. What a save! Oh my goodness, Tommy Gossett. Look at that quickly now. Huge checkup, and Brandon Dennis gets in the back of me. Spins that arrow, just misses the base car. Just barely misses the inside wall and hangs onto it. Great driving right there with the three of Tommy Gossett. And the only harm there is the fact that he's going to have to be applied for clear by race officials, and the fact that he lost the draft, it looks like. But, I mean, style points, I guess, to make up for that. As we're going to take a look here from the onboard, because that was just truly remarkable. Look at this, a checkup, and he just gets tagged, and he spins it down the track, and hangs onto it. Great driving there by Tommy Gossett. Truly an amazing save, to say the least. So, unfortunately, he has lost the draft, but under a line of caution here, which might just come out when these guys are kind of racing at the front in this lead pack. As Bobby Hastert continuing to push Zach Borman and keep him in the race. But Cody Smith actually, I guess, led that last lap. Zach Borna holding on the race lead. Being pushed by Bobby Hash and 26 as well right there. You see Roy Casey now damaged along the apron, but just 2 laps away from the halfway point here in this season finale. You see this huge pack of cars rolling through Daytona once again. Remember, iRacing Series, if you are new to the broadcast or watching this series for the very first time, see Anthony Alfredo going to get shuffled right there. He's going to get the shaft. Looks like he's actually going to fall all the way to the back of this pack and go 3 wide and fall back. So unfortunate there for the 54 there. Alfredo now actually he's going to hit the outside wall. So maybe having some wheel issues there or something. Of course, that's not normal at all. So he's actually going to lose the draft because of this. And has quite a bit of damage because of it as well. Looks like he's going to recover. He's still driving, but of course now has damage and out of the lead pack. This time by Woolmark, however, halfway in this race. As they cross our finish line at the halfway point, it's going to be the 10. Zach Borman looks like taking that mark lead. To look at now the race summary here so far in tonight's race. 50 laps completed, 50 laps to go. We've had 14 lead changes, in those 50 laps so far, and only 2 cautions. So pretty good statistics there so far from Daytona, and we'll have to wait and see how this pays off for some of your chase drivers. Now it looks like Coney, Taz Kessler, and Nathan Stewart all going to the front as Chris Edgebear going to follow them as well. Again, chase driver getting to the front, and I do believe he has a fast pair left, so he can kind of make these moves and take these risks. As it looks like the 17 of Eric Reinhardt is kind of still in this pack, but kind of just stayed where he is right now without damage, not able to really get in the clean air and try to make a run. He kind of just has to stay behind somebody and stay under the tail end of the pack and wait for a caution to use that fast pair if he decides to do it. But Chris Edgebear up here and battling for it. So Carlson, they're trying to push him and just losing his draft a little bit. So I think they try to resort to side drafting, but a little bit aggressive. You kind of have to do it, though. At this point in time, let's see him squeak in front of the 15 of Cody Smith, but I'm not believing it's going to happen. As we come off of turn number 4 and just not going to quite get there. Racing stays around his way down there on the apron. Great job of him. So now it's 52 laps completed from Daytona. You see currently that 12 leading this train on the inside. A couple of teammates right behind it. Nathan Stewart, Cody Smith, Zach Borman, Taz Kessler. So a lot of guys all together. Douglas Carlson almost got a spot in line right there, but cannot quite do it. Because they're going to get a great run on the side draft. We see it now back there. Eric Reinhardt losing the lead draft, looks like, with 3 cars as well. Brandon Wilson, a couple cars behind him, and they got Jason Papp part of that as well. So they might just be losing his lead draft. That's obviously not good news for them, or especially Eric Reinhardt being one of the chase drivers. So for Pittsburgh, though, being up here and trying to battle for 4th position right now, if he wants to put himself in the victory lane here tonight, and especially hoist that championship trophy when it's all said and done. And again, I remind you, if you're new to this, if you just joined us, these drivers are fighting for a real-life trophy. It is an actual trophy made out of metal that will be sent to the champion here, which is now down just Chris Edgebear in the 38 and Eric Reinhardt in the 710, who's currently losing the lead draft, however. But yeah, these guys are fighting for a real-life trophy and definitely want to put their name on it. As Eric Reinhardt losing that lead draft, Chris Edgebear again trying to battle now for 2nd position with Taz Kessler. Trying to get that side draft in that run. Zach Borman, Taz Kessler's teammate, going to fall in line behind him with Douglas Carlson as his lead pack kind of just continues to separate, kind of spread apart here. Not quite as racy as you saw a little while ago. Only 18 cars in the lead lap. Tommy Gossett, of course, lost the lead draft. Unfortunately, along with Anthony Alfredo. Brandon Wilson, Jason Papp, looks like Eric Reinhardt. They've all managed to get back to the front here and get back into this draft. And now what can they do with it as they're back into contention here? And the 710 is still that front end damage. It's going to be tough to get around that and work around that. But oh, Taz Kessler going in front of Chris Edgebear. Chris Edgebear trying to stay him 3 wide on the outside. Pretty custom move out when you're chase drivers. He's going to try to do it 3 wide for the race. See it across the stripe. He's going to get it if only that was the finish. He got that lap led at least, but now the question is, does he have to run? He needs to try to get back in line. No, he does not. So now he's going to get 3 wide by Zach Borman. He's going to fall to the back here. He's going to cut off. There's Carlson, shut the door on him and take that spot in front of him. So driver set up sure a couple of teammates, with his teammates pushing from behind, and then on the inside lane case, get the 15 also pushing as well. The 01 and the 10 working together, the 12 and the 13 and the 15 working together on the inside. Oh, Taz gonna turn sideways. No, gets hooked into the wall. And that's going to take out a large portion of your field versus the whole lead pack. As it looks like Chris Edgebear got some front end damage out of that, but everybody else behind destroys. So Ryan really spit to the inside of the wall right there. It was Ryan, Chris Hernandez Jr. going some rally jumping right there. It looks like Ryan Keller has quite a bit of damage in the inside infield there. Brandon Dennis all tore up. And they actually had it saved, but it was when the 10 tried going to the outside of him, and that's what caused that crash. So to speak. I'm going to take a look back at that now on the LCTV replay. And it was just really unfortunate. He actually had that save. And those teammates battling for the race lead, and I guess battling too hard potentially. As you see now, Thomas Kessler getting pushed by Zach Bourne's just classic overhook. It happens all the time in the Xfinity cars. But he actually had it saved. Did a great job to hang on to it. But then Zach Bourne got in his rear corner panel and basically just hooked him around. And that's what really started that. Unfortunately, just nothing either one of these guys can do. And the whole field is going to pile in behind as it was for the race lead. And you see the 01 gets turned on the racetrack. You see Chris Hudspeth try to avoid him. Can't quite do it. He hits the back end of the 01. The 29 of those, Carlson, 93, Ryan Kelly just piling as well. Nowhere for them at all to go. Bobby Hash gets in the back of Chris Hutchipere. The 84 Xavier Trap piles in, and then he spins on the track into Brendan Dennis. And cruising is junior with probably the wreck avoidance of the year right there, missing that whole crash. As you see, Ryan Kelly then spin down and everybody hit the inside. Well, it's like, oh, Eric Reinhardt got a huge piece of that. It looks like, he kind of actually net-coded through Ryan Worley. So he got a lot of damage out of that. He probably has to use a faster pair, so doesn't Chris Hutchipere. So it's going to be interesting now to see who has a faster left and who does not. But we're right on board now with Cruising Ace Jr. That amazing record-winning job he had. As you're going to run on board now with the 8 Red Bull Chevrolet. This crash happening, he kind of just throws up the middle and just barely makes it through. Misses the 15 of Cody Smith, goes through the infield, and gets a little bit of airtime right here. Right there. Jumps, lands it, good to go. So, amazing job right there, but Cruising and Jr. just barely made it through that. I'm sure he's still trying to figure out how he did that, to say the least. As we take a look down from the chopper camera on that one. There's an amazing job out of the 8, a little bit of luck, quite a bit of luck, I guess you could say. Just barely shot the gap right there and somehow missed everybody. Then right here, last second, swerves and missed the 15. Goes through the infield to try and not to come back on the racetrack. And unfortunately, the access road kind of decided to give him a little jump right there and give a little bit of front end damage, but still. Wow. That was truly remarkable. As you run on board now with the 95 Brandon Dennis, is unfortunately for him just could not stay the same thing as he had just nowhere to go at all. And luck was not on his side. As you see, slows down and just unfortunately kind of piles in right there, gets hit, and then knocked around. And he did a pretty good job trying to keep it off everybody and out of the inside wall, but did quite a bit of damage from hitting the 84 there in the 95. So, not the 95, he's a 95, the 93. So, go back live now and take a look at what the summary is here of everybody. So, Eric Reinhardt did not use a fast pair again. So the interesting strategy right there looks like Chris Hutchipere, though, he did use a faster pair on that pit stop. So now he is without that backup faster pair. The only chase driver without that. As is again just down to him and Eric Reinhardt. Only 2 left to battle it out, but he doesn't have a fast pair. Eric Reinhardt does, but Eric Reinhardt does a lot of damage. The question is, will it affect his speed with 40 laps to go? We're going to take another quick commercial break here, however, and we'll be right back after this, the final 40 laps from Daytona.
Team racing allows multiple iRacing members to team up and race together, just like in real-world endurance series. Teammates can share driving duties, spot for one another, or be a crew chief. Team racing is free, both to join a team and to create one. Each teammate races on his or her own computer from wherever they want to. Your teammates can be anywhere in the world, and changing drivers mid-race is as easy as a click of a button. iRacing features team endurance events ranging from just a couple of hours to 24 hours in length. So, if you fancy taking part in an iRacing endurance race in the future, you can learn more about team racing on the teams page on the member website.
I want to leap over buildings, want to fly over the shores, faster than a lightning flash, rushing through the cool night air. So start ignition, count to 0. I just wanna be a superhero.
Hey, what's up, guys? Scott Speed here at the iRacing headquarters. Some exciting news about the upcoming Rallycross World Championship. They've got a wild card entry, and yours truly is going to get that spot. See you guys out on the track.
So start ignition, count to 0. I just wanna be a superhero.
Well, we're live to Daytona, so we're going to take the green flag here for the iRacing Series season finale for the restart on lap number 62 out of 100. Greg McConey did a great job on the outside, and Nathan Stewart did not get going on the inside lane on the restart. So now, looks like if we're going to get in front of the 13, and maybe actually some team strategy there as well, but it looks like now Tommy Goss has other plans. He's going to try to push that 13 into Stewart and keep him out of being able to do that. You see Brian Wilson up here for the first time tonight, trying to dice it up with these guys. And remember, towards the start of the season, it looked like he was going to be one of the guys to beat. Besides Christian Jr., he went out and won 4 straight races. But one of the guys to beat. But then kind of him and Cruz actually decided to both kind of take the strategy right in the back. And usually it doesn't actually work out that well. And they both got crashed a lot consecutively. And fortunately got knocked out of the chase in the first couple of rounds. So they're now racing just for the fun of it here and for the race win, of course. And of course, as well, some point standings battles as far as whatever position they're battling for in the points. Every point counts. This looks like Vernon Wilson is currently 7th in points. Christian Jr. was 11th in points coming into tonight's event. So, interesting to see how that pays on for him. It looks like Scott Leitner not in this race tonight. He was, in fact, 8th in points. So that he's going to get Christian Jr. at least a spot or so. Wilson battling Jason Papp for 6th place in points. Along with Jeffrey Price, who's actually also not here tonight, so has a spot for him in the point standings as well. Chase Gustin out. His car, unfortunately, all destroyed from that last crash. Had it saved, and unfortunately, he's kind of got hooked after the fact, and it's going to take him out of the race. And speaking of that, Russ Nash and Jeff McConey both have put it behind the wall. Do an update on that. Along with Reed Geeson, actually, he also put it behind the wall as well. Those guys have now retired from the race, which just leaves us now with not too many left in this one. Brendan Dennis, last car on the lap, currently in 13th. Last car, I believe, actually really in contention is Zach Borman. Is up here 2 laps down, looks like, battling for position, but had to tail one of that last caution, and he's a fast pair, is back up here, but he's battling Douglas Carlson for the free pass position, or maybe he's actually not, he's in pit road, so it's like he's the only guy who had a free pass, so at this point, has to hope for a caution that he does not get involved in, and he's going to get one of his laps back, then he has to hope for another one right after that to get his 2nd lap back. And he can try to battle with a clean race car. Brandon Dennis was like he has some damage from that last crash, of course. If you saw, he's losing the draft along with Ryan Keller. So troubles for both those guys. Christopher Perry, again, one of your chase drivers, use that faster barrier. So now he does not have one left. His rival Eric Reinhardt does, but you see the damage there to that 710 Toyota Camry. So interesting to see how that's going to pay off for him. As Brandon Dennis, though, Brendan Wilson gets a huge run. Getting pushed there by Chris. Oh, Chris gets turned by Zach Borman. That's going to cause a huge crash. And the question is who made it through and who did not. Christian Jr. getting bumper hooked there by Zach Borman. It was just he was pushing the race leader, Brendan Wilson, doing a great job, but then Zach Borman tried pushing him, and it was not gonna work. So that's now, unfortunately, 2 crashes in a row caused by Zach Borman, just with classic bumper hooks. Chris Etcheper, did he make it through? Yes, it looks like he did. Eric Reinhardt, can't really tell if he has that damage, but I also do believe he made it through that. So, man, oh man, some crazy drama here to say the least in the season finale. Started out really well, and now it's kind of gone a little bit hectic, to say the least. As that was his Chris Anderson Jr. getting bumper hook there by Zach Borman, forcing the second crash in a row, like I mentioned before, by Zach Borman getting bumper hooking somebody. You see, kind of push out the racetrack, got over corner panel, hooked on the track into Anthony Alfredo. Anthony Stewart got on the back of him as well, just a little bit. Anthony then pancakes the outside of the wall. You see Tommy Gossick get a huge piece of that. Cody Smith, Ryan Worley get involved. A lot of these guys that do not have a fast spare left. You see, his pap got some damage out of that, but Chris Etcheper goes through the grass to miss it, and then Eric Reinhardt, I believe, just barely squeaked around the outside as well. We're on board now with Eric Reinhardt. So he just tries to miss everything. He just managed to squeak around the 15 right there as he came back up the track. Now we're around on board with the 38 of Chris Etcheper. He also had a great miss right there. And the miss of the championship right here. If he wins the championship, this is pretty much going to be the miss of the century here. Ducks out low, just really miss the spinning cars and see if they get through it. And so he keeps this clean race car for now. Right on board now with the 10 of Zach Borman. And he should save it right there, but fortunately, not everybody else is able to do the same. So, Zach Borman did have a clean race car and was 2 laps down, and is 2 laps down, I should say. It looks like he's not going to get the free pass because of the fact that he was involved in that crash. So now, Cody Smith looks like he's going to go a lap down, but with a ton of damage. Cruz Jr. still in pit road. Anthony Alfredo all tore up. Ryan Worley all tore up, but I do believe he can get back on the track. Ryan Kelly with a lot of damage, still on the racetrack, however. A lot of guys do not have fast spares left, to say the least, so they're really unfortunate. But also now holds on to the race leader. Eric Reinhardt currently in second, and the highest out of the 2 race drivers left. We're going to take another quick commercial break, however, and we're right back for the final 30 laps or so from Daytona. Interesting to see what the fuel strategy is and the rest of this caution as well.
When I was 16 years old, I was working in a Goodyear tire store, and my boss actually built an old dirt car, street stock Monte Carlo. Went with him one night, fell in love with it. It was a hell of a race, hell of a party, and a big fight afterwards. I was like, this is it. This is it for me. It wasn't long after that, I was driving an old 78 Camaro out of the weeds at that guy's farm. We pulled that thing out and made a race car out of it, and away we went. You know, I think a driver has more to do with the equation going back and racing dirt, whether it's a modified, a late model. You can do more with the race car. You know, the harder you drive it, a lot of times, the better it goes. You can crawl up on that wheel and feel like you made the difference at the end of the night. Asphalt car, you can't overdrive them. Well, that was the first thing that I had to learn right off the bat is, oh my gosh, I've got to discipline myself, not overdrive this thing, and that's how you get the most out of it. Truth be told, communicating the right information to your crew and your crew chief so they can do their job and make their appropriate adjustments for you to go faster and do your job is probably 90% of the game in our world. I've always loved late models. You know, my dream was to be a late model driver driving for a living across the country like Daryl and Don do that drive for me. I mean, that was, truth be told, that was my dream, you know. I always wanted a semi. I always wanted a stacker trailer with 2 hot rods in it and let's go racing. Let's take off with your buddies and go race and chase that dream. Never in a million years did I think it would turn into a Cup Series and I actually have an opportunity to own 2. dirt late model teams. When you think of iRacing, you don't think of a video game. It's not. It's way above and beyond any of that. Dirt racing changes so much. The track changes so much. Being able to capture that, to experience all those details that surround dirt racing and make dirt racing what it is what makes iRacing so cool, because they did nail all of that. I knew when they came to our shop and scanned cars and went to the detail of getting that car right, I knew that it was going to be over the top, because it blew my mind just the work that went into making sure the car itself was legit. This sport has been around a long time. The competition can't be replaced, and that's what brings people back to the racetrack week in and week out.
The yellow flag is out. Pit road is now open. Keep your eye on those gauges. We'll give you 4 tyres. 3, 2, 1, now. We're done. Get going.
Hello, welcome back to the iRacing Series 4 Race number 20 from the Daytona International Speedway using the Xfinity cars in the season finale. As about to hit the green flag here for just the 4th restart of tonight. Green flag and a wave here on lap number 70 of 100. It's going to cross in the 71 here. 30 laps to go now from Daytona. You see the damage to the 710 deck right on the outside. It's going to cause a huge... Where did he come from? Cody Smith just Kyle Busch the restart and then some. I do believe he's probably going to receive a black flag for that one, but he's back on the lap now, I guess, technically. Brendan Wilson was in the race lead, getting pushed now by Nathan Stewart and Brennan Dennis, but yeah, this, I don't know. Chris Richard now going to try to pass Eric Reinhardt for the chase lead and for 4th position. Of course, with that, the 710 has all the damage left, but if we do see another big one here, if it gets taken out in it, that 710 is going to hit that winning strategy. The fact that he decided not to use the fast barriers. You see the 54.9 Anthony Alfredo going to go lock down all that damage. Cody Smith, he just flung past the whole entire field. He's not going to get passed back because of all that damage. As Chris Hitchberg now is going to get clear. Eric Reinhardt tries to look to try to go underneath. Brendan Dennis is not quite able to make that run work for him. Still a little under 30 laps to go here from Daytona. A long ways left of the racing. I'm just going to see what exactly these guys are able to pull off here towards the end. Is Eric Reinhardt now right behind Chris Hitchberg for that chase lead. Still can't Eric Reinhardt out yet. And again, if the 30 gets taken out in a crash, he's done for. So Eric Reinhardt hold on to that car with all that damage, but still has not used that fast spur yet. Right, Dennis getting a great push now by Greg McConey and Tommy Goss on the outside lane. He's going to try to look for the race lead now. As they come through the trial, look at it. He has a huge run through the middle of the trial. He's actually going to lead that lap. It's 28 laps to go now from Daytona. Brendan Dennis going to take on the race lead for now, but still side by side with Brendan Wilson and Nathan Stewart. Is that with all those crashes we've seen, most of the McConaughey Motorsports guys got separated and taken out here, unfortunately. Jeff McConaughey got taken out in the first 2 crashes. You saw Taz Kessler and Zach Bourman Taz Kessler got taken out in a couple of the first crashes and turned by his teammate Zach Bourman. Then Zach Bourman unfortunately turned Chris Andrews Jr., and then that took him out. And then Anthony Alfredo just had some unfortunate issues here tonight. That's knocked him quite a ways behind the field and laps down and got caught up in a couple of crashes as well, so now he's out of the fight. As 20 12 cars now. Oh, excuse me, 11 cars on the lap. That last one being Ryan Keller right there with Cruising in his junior. Ryan Wood, though, unfortunately, it looks like he's lost the draft. With all the engine damage he has, he has lost the draft, currently 9th place, but still, Nathan Stewart looks like he's actually blowing up here. He's right behind one of your race leaders, so I'm not sure. Is he out of gas or did he blow up? I did not hear the engine running at all.
The yellow flag is out.
Nathan Stewart. Oh, he blew up. Must have gotten too hot. Oh my goodness. That's just part of the Xfinity cars. The cars don't like being in dirty air for too long. He's trying to push his teammate Greg McConaughey, I believe, or at least is actually Brian Wilson. And unfortunately, just the engine let go on that number 13 car. And now he's able to roll back to pit road, coast back to pit road, and lose all his time. So, not sure if he's faster left either, but Tommy Goss looks like he's going to try to go for race leader. Ryan Brandon Dennis with the help from Brandon Wilson. There's 25 laps to go this time by. It marks the 3/4 of the way through this race, 75% length so far completed. As they're going to come to the travel here, Tommy Goss, he's going to try to lead his first lap of the night. Looks like he found got it. As you see now, Nathan Stewart going to go lap down on pit road. And actually, I'm not sure again if he has fast pair left or not. It's not like he has a fast pair left, so that will end Nathan Stewart's night. Really unfortunate. And that only puts 10 cars leading lap, and you see now Ryan Williams caught these guys in the back after got caught by them, I should say. So 8th through 10th back here out of the lead draft by 8 seconds behind your leaders. Eric Reinhardt has now lost the lead draft, and he's fallen to the back with no drafting up at all. It's going to really hurt the 7 and 10 and his chances for the championship here. So now, all Chris Westbury needs to do is not wreck pretty much, and he has this locked up. But 6 cars battling for the race lead, that might just happen, especially at Daytona. But trying to play it safe is the goal for that 38 Nationwide Chevy. I see his teammate right there behind him with Jason Pappas, teammate right there in front of him, Brendan Wilson. So, he's got some help for sure to try to protect him here, but you never know what could happen at Talladega. I mean, Daytona. Or Talladega, for that matter, I guess. So Cody Smith now has put it behind the wall, unfortunately. At the moment, Brendan Dennis holds on to the race lead. He's going to leave that time by at the stripe. 23 laps to go now from the Daytona International Speedway. And of course, everyone wants to win the final race. They want to have that confidence going into the next season and be known as the last season finale winner of season 1. And they're going to stay the reigning winner for a few weeks. The longest anybody will have to be able to do that. So obviously, you definitely want to do that. As you see down the guys, so it looks like he might just get clear of Brandon Dennis if he comes down right about now, but not quite clear now as 95 shows his nose back underneath and getting pushed by Greg McConaughey. So there's just the drag race here. Tandem drafting for the top 2 at the front of this pack. Here you see Eric Reinhardt ends up falling into play as he get caught by these guys, and he's able to attach onto their pack and become a part of them, but they're going to have to rely on their caution at least to try to make anything back. Only 6 cars in this lead pack, that's probably not going to be the case, so interesting to see what the strategy is for them. Greg McConaughey now pushing Brandon Dennis, keeping in that race lead. Well, I gotta say, Brandon Wilson, though, trying to work together on the outside and try to take it over. But I'm not quite sure they're able to do that as of right now. Very close to start finish on the 95. Toyota Camry had that lap led. So this time it's going to be 20 laps to go from Daytona. Just a whopping 50 miles left of racing. This car is still in the lead pack. We're on board now with Brendan Wilson. Pushing Tanagasa right there. Going to our gyro cam here with the 38 of Chris Etcheper. So we're the banking here at Daytona. Okay, he's just playing it safe right now. 3 laps to go. Play it safe. 2 of the chase stars are officially out of it as they've both wrecked out and put it behind the wall. Eric Reinhardt has lost the draft. He's currently now falling back to 10th place. And out of anybody's draft, looks like. So, just play nice and safe. Don't do anything too aggressive. Don't do anything stupid. And just hold on to it. And you have that championship in the bag. And, of course, it's going to be fantastic for him. It looks like Eric Reinhardt has attached onto this other pack. So, it's a 4-car group now. But, again, all these guys with damage, they're not going to catch this lead pack. So, they're going to need a caution here. 15 seconds behind that lead pack. They're going to have that caution come out. And at the current moment, well, they're racing for the race lead, not racing hard enough for that to be a really high chance. But you never know what could happen here. Classic bumper hook. We could see potentially enforcing some net code. You never know what could be the case. As still just battling for that position right now is the 3, the 95. The Super Coney still pushing Brendan Dennis, and Brendan Wilson still pushing Tommy Gossett and Jason Papp and Chris Etcheper falling behind. Tommy Gossett gets a great run on the outside. Looks like he's going to try to hold on to the race lead and get it at the stripe this time. But leave the circuit around Daytona. Looks like he's able to do that. Getting a lap led for him tonight. This is pretty much just what it's coming down to at the current moment. Just knocking these laps off, figuring out putting them down. And so seeing Chase and Pap and Chris Etcheper working together in the back, trying to stay out of this in case they do crash. And again, that 38 can just hold on to it. He's got the championship pretty much locked up in the bag, but you never know what could happen in the closing laps of a Daytona race. He's just praying that it stays green. No! I jinxed it. Brandon Dennis is going to get bumper hooked. Chris Etcheper just barely misses him. And actually looks like Jason Papp does the same. So a single car spin by Brandon Dennis getting turned there by the 12 Greg Marconi. And as soon as I said he's pretty much praying that it stays green is when he gets hooked. That's going to help now Ryan Willie cruising his junior Ryan Keller and Eric Reinhardt catch the lead draft. And going to put Tommy Gossett in the race lead. But definitely not what Chris Etcheper wanted to see. He was able to barely miss him. In fact, him and Jason Papp did a great job to miss him right there. But obviously, very scary to say the least, probably. As we'll take a look back at that now on the LCTV replay. We're on board now with the 38 of Chris Etcheper. As this is definitely not what he wants to see out of his windshield. So he's slow down. He's just hoping to come to the track. He just barely misses him. Another great record-winning shot by Chris Etcheper. Just barely was able to make it through that one. But mission accomplished for him. On board now with his teammate Jason Papp, who's right there behind him. Also, great job by him to avoid this. He actually had to slow way down and try to stop in time. And I can't really see around his team at 38. He just slows down. The 95 spins around. Does a great job as well to try to hang on to it and lock it down, keep it out of harm's way, and avoid getting hit. And I'm on board now with the 12 of Greg McConey. There's a classic purple hook. See, just unfortunately got himself a corner panel and hooked him around, but he hooked him cleanly around, and Brandon Dennis is getting any damage out of it. Nobody hits him, and everybody's good to go pretty much. And of course, Alexis Cars in the lead back. You're probably expected to see that. It looks like Cody Smith. Again, I can make sure I put behind the wall. But so now, drivers, they're probably going to put some fuel in their car. It's Tommy Gossett was in the race lead. Brendan Wilson in second, but Chris Etcheper right there in third. We're going to see if we can't get awarded in with him. Current chase leader.
User
I'm
was
not
moved
pushing
to
at
your
all. Please
channel.
don't fucking.
Chris Etcheper, get a copy. Chris Etcheper,
I got a copy. I got a copy.
So, Chris, I currently find yourself in third place here. Highest of the Chase Drivers course is now just down to a duel between you and the 710 of Eric Reinhardt. As the two drivers got taken out, unfortunately. But out of the two of you, of course, you have the cleanest car. But the only downside is that you don't have the backup, the faster pair left as a backup. And great record-winning job there the last two crashes or so. But what are your chances here? Do you feel like for the championship?
Yeah, I don't know the status of Eric's car. I hope it's clean. I hope it can be a fun race, fun little championship battle. But right now, I just gotta keep it clean. I got no faster pair. I want to keep it clean. But I'm sitting in third, so I don't know how that's gonna work out. But I know there's only 10 cars on the lead lap. And yeah, man, it's been a fun race. Fun racing this season. Fun first year. And whether win or lose, can't wait for next season.
Absolutely, and of course, right now you're guaranteed a second place finish at the least if you don't get the victory here in the championship. So obviously that's going to be great for the point season after all. But of course, your teammates up here as well. You got Cruz Jr. It looks like he's going to line up up there with you guys. Jason Papp right there behind him at the current moment, and your teammate Brian Wilson right in front of you. So your whole team up here to try to help you win this championship. Do you feel like the teamwork is going to help you do that? And what is your little plan here, if you can give it to us, as to what your goal is to try to just hang on to this?
My goal right now is just honestly keep it clean. Yeah, I got a good group of teammates that are keeping me updated on what's going on, and right now I'm just try bump 501 to the win or the lead, and just keep it clean.
All right, we appreciate your time here, Chris, and of course, let's get back to your team, and wish you best of luck here.
All right, man, thank you. Have fun broadcasting.
User was moved out of your
That was
channel.
Chris Fair right there. I guess did not realize he got moved there. So my apologies for that. But Tommy Gossett holds on to the race lead as well. Trying to go for the race win here. Will be his first career win. And as we pace lap 86 out of 100, definitely not enough time left for these guys to try to do much with that. Let's see if we can't get an word in with him as well here. Potentially, unless we go one green this time by, and I'm going to leave him be, but looks like we might just be doing that actually, so.
Error.
Yeah, I know. So it looks like they're going to now double foul for the restart from Daytona. Might be the final restart of the race. It might just be what determines the champion here of the iRacing East Series. You see Eric Reinhardt back in the pack still has that damage. I'm guessing he actually does not have a faster pair left on that 10 car, that 710 car. So that's going to be really tough for him, as he does that. He also has the hope that he's not going to take out a crash, but with all that damage, it's going to be hard for him to go from 9th place all the way up to third or so to try to get ahead of Chris Hutchipper. So I mean, at this point, I think he kind of has to just hope on either a great push or a great run, or he's going to have to try to hope that the 38 and for gets taken out. Of course, you don't want your competitors to get taken out, but in this case, he kind of has to have that happen. And of course, without any teammates, Edgar Reinhardt, we know, without a team, and we talked to him last week, I believe, and he kind of said that just wants to go solo here and not have a teammates at all to help him. So it's kind of just because it's catch can at the current moment, but. 9th place for this restart, not a bad position, but it's also only 10 cars in laps, so it's going to be tough with all that damage to try to get around this 38 for Hutchipper, but we'll just have to see what happens. Probably the underdog, honestly, all season long out of the Final Four. Definitely kind of just, kept it quiet. He finished strong, finished top 10 almost every race, was consistent, made every race, and now finds himself battling for a championship. So great job there by Eric Reinhardt, but Chris currently has that track position as he's going to line up right behind Tommy Gossett, but three of his teammates on the outside. You got Brandon Wilson and Jason Papp and Cruz Jr. all lined up three deep on the outside for this restart. His green flag is going to wave its pace both on the pit road, and we're backing away here from Daytona with just 23 laps to go. 13 laps to go, if I can count correctly. Left to determine the race winner here tonight and the champion. Question is, will it be the same driver as well? You see, Jason Papp going to try to push Brian Wilson to that race lead. Cruz is shooting, getting pushed there by Greg Coney. Brendan Dennis right there behind Greg Coney. Of course, 12 hooked the 95, so I'm curious to see if there's any payback. I highly doubt there will be, however. Tommy Gossett now trying to get pushed ahead by Chris Hutchinson, but of course Chris Hutchinson trying to just play it safe as well. And as long as he can hold on to this position, he has the championship in the bag. It's not a fast pair left, so he's in desperate need of doing that, of trying to just keep it clean. It looks like he's going to try to push the 3, though. The race winning potentially as well, but of course his teammate Vertigo on the outside, and of course, wants to help them. So kind of torn here between a couple of different things, but going to be a great battle all the way to the end here. Nevertheless, as this time by, it's going to be 11 laps to go in the cross the stripe as they come through turns number 1 and 2 here, and now down the back straight away here at Daytona. Yeah, something's going to check a little bit here. Real Chris pull out of line and trying to go in front of his teammates to go for the race win and the championship. Looks like he might just be able to do that. Goes to the outside of Tommy Gossett. And this is not aggressive, and this is actually a great move by him, I feel like, because now he's in front of his teammates. He has the race lead in case Kosh comes out, and in probably the best prime position is to see Eric Reinhardt. Unfortunately, just with all that damage on the front of his Toyota Camry, he's just going to lose the draft here, fall back quite a bit, and that's going to hurt his speed. So he's kind of actually losing the draft now with Brendan Dennis and Ryan Keller. So, I mean, it's just really unfortunate for him. They're trying to get form up here and trying to get a run and stick with it, but I think at this point, he kind of just has to hope that 30 gets taken out. However, this time by, it will be 10 laps to go, so not much left on the square pylon. 15 miles left of racing from Daytona, 10 laps to go. For the season finale of the iRacing E-Series Season 1. 38 in the center 10 battling for that championship and that trophy. But also the 38 trying to go for the race win along with Ryan Worley, who got a great break right there. Caught a huge break with that caution. Actually lost the draft, fell back to the second pack, and now he's back up here and trying to push Tommy Gossett to the race lead, and then tries to push him, of course, himself to try to get the race win here as best as he can. And looking in a pretty good position to try to do that, but just cannot quite get clear of Chris Hutchinson for that run he needs to get to the outside and get around to the 3 of Tommy Gossett. So he's going to keep trying, of course. Chris Hutchinson going to try to keep getting that run and holding that championship lead, and of course also wants to go out with the bane and win the race as well. As it looks like Greg McCona looks like he's going to go from the inside lane to the outside lane, go back down to the inside lane, but it's kind of losing the draft here a little bit. As it looks like Brendan Dennis is going to push that 7-10 Eric Reinhardt to the front. Ryan Keller is kind of lost these guys along with Cruz and Jr., unfortunately, with all the damage they have. So Eric Reinhardt got pushed by Brendan Dennis. Now he's back up to this lead pack and is going to try to challenge for it. But meanwhile, Brendan Wilson, and Chris Hutchinson are going to take 1-2 on top of the board. His teams working together now on the inside and try to hold the inside lane up. And as long as that final one can kind of be a buffer, and the 3-0 of Tommy Gossett going to get bumper hooked, and that's going to bring the caution flag out. It must bring the caution flag out. No caution as of right now. Tommy Gossett sending him another racetrack, as you see now. I mean, just to avoid him, and no, there's the caution flag right now. So 8 laps to go. The caution flag gonna come out. It's gonna leave us a 3-lap shootout. I was just gonna say the final one can kind of act as a buffer and keep the 38 safe. He's good to go. But then right behind the final one, the 3-time Gossett got bumper hooked, and it did not leave you hit anything. I mean, it would have been a second straight bumper hook where they're able to actually hang onto it and not get hit or hit anything. So great job there by Tommy Gossett to look now back at that replay, however. And try to figure out what exactly caused that. So you see right now Ryan Worley right there behind him. And another classic bumper hook on the left rear corner panel of Tommy Gossett and hooked him around. But then luckily, looks like Tommy Gossett did a full 360, 720, just barely kept it off the wall, locked it down, did not move, so he didn't get hit, of course. So then, luckily the caution flag was able to come out right there. Kind of came out really late, but came out nevertheless for the driver of the 3. And we're now with Ryan Worley in the 26. He checked up a little bit, and I guess he was not quite ready for it, did not quite expect it. But again, the 3 managed to hang on to it, and you know, of course, track position is pretty much the only thing that's going to hurt the three here of Tommy Gossett. Take a look now from the unguided blimp camera. Last member look at Daytona. That's all it takes to travel is usually pretty much a prominent spot for them. They did a great job of keeping off the outside wall right there. Just remember his amazing state earlier in the race to keeping off the inside wall. And now this time he's spun out, but without any ability to not spin out, because that was just impossible to say that. But yeah, now he's good to go. So also going to set us up for a 3-lap shootout here to finish this one off. So that's going to get very interesting as your chase drivers, Chris Ashper pulls onto that race lead as we pace lap number 95 out of 100. Next stop by is going to be 5 laps to go. But we're still going to have a couple laps here in this caution. So I do believe it's going to be a 3-lap shootout here from Daytona to finish it off and determine the champion as well. Currently, Chris Ashper and Eric Reinhardt first and 5th. So both your drivers in the top 5. Eric Reinhardt with that damage, of course, 38 without that damage, and the 38 has teammates, 501 does not. So it's going to get very interesting, to say the least, here. See if we can't talk to Eric Reinhardt at 710.
User was
Eric
moved to
Reinhardt,
your
got a copy.
channel.
Yes, sir.
So, Eric, you currently find yourself in 5th place, but unfortunately, you do have some damage on that Toyota Camry and kind of just struggling with the speed, even in the pack a little bit here. And Chris Ashper, your rival here for the championship, currently in the race lead. What is your plan here in this 3-lap shootout to try to get it?
It's really going to come down to if I can get somebody to push me. If I can get pushed, I can keep up with everybody. If I can stay in the draft, I can keep with the pack. But it's really going to be about that. You know, I think I've got Jason's probably going to be in front of me, and I think he's a teammate with Chris. So it's going to be interesting how it plays out. But I'm still not out of it.
Absolutely, and of course, anything can happen at Daytona. You know, the 38 could still get wrecked here, and you know, you could still get right. You know, you never know what's going to happen here, and it's going to definitely be exciting for sure. But how do you feel about, you know, this everything that's happened so far in this race? We've had, you know, 100-lap race, longest ever we've had here in the iRacing series for the finale event. A lot on the line, of course, with that championship. Two your competitors getting taken out. Just talk us through this race so far, and how do you feel like it's going to finish here?
You know, it's been an interesting race. We've had some crazy incidents, and but overall, it's been pretty cautious driving. I think the incidents were just bad mistakes, you know. But otherwise, it's been fairly cautious with the driving. It stinks that everybody else got knocked out early on. It would have been nice if we had all 4 of us in here for the final 2 laps, but it is what it is.
Absolutely. We wish you the best luck here, Eric, and your efforts to win the championship here tonight.
All right. Thank you very much.
User was moved out of your channel.
So that was the driver of the number 7 Eric Reinhardt. Currently the number 2 seed out of your chase drivers. Currently sitting in that 5th place. Goes to show how competitive this series is. As Chris Ashper currently your race leader and also your championship leader as well. Just down to him and the 710 as the 76 Jeff McConey and the 33 Terry Khan got taken out in crashes. Just down to these 2 drivers. And going to be very interesting, of course, to see what either one of them's able to do. And, of course, Chris Ashper has help there from his teammates. Brandon Wilson, Jason Papp up here. Cruising a little bit further back after having some damage losing that draft last run. But so we're going to come down to this. As this time by, we're going to get 4 laps to go, but we should also get the 1 to go signal. It looks like 38. We line up double foul this time by. We must. I get the 1 to go signal right there. And 30 Chris Ashper are going to choose the outside line for the restart, which is very interesting as he now does not have any teammates behind him, but instead goes with Greg McConey on the outside. So very interesting strategy move right there by Chris Ashper not to go with his teammate on the restart. I would not expect that in the least, but you know, that's the sleeve potentially here, and maybe he wants to work with that 12 instead. So interesting strategy, but we're going to see how it plays out for him. And, of course, again, Eric Reinhardt with that damage. I'm interested to see what happens to him. And then Ryan Worley behind him also has damage. So unfortunately, that might not work out the greatest for Eric Reinhardt as the gap behind him now. And then behind Chris Hutchinson, Cruz Jr. with damage as well, and everybody else behind. So he's going to have to get somebody from the outside lane like Brendan Dennis, who we saw push him before, maybe Greg McConey, something like that, to try to push him here to the championship. But it's going to be tough. And 3-lap shootout, if we see the caution flag fly again, it's going to end the race. So I definitely do not want to miss this, to say the least. Appreciate you watching here tonight. It's been a great race so far, and I'm going to see who's able to get it done when it's over here tonight in just a few laps. Very hard to believe. That's an North Fisher for Mustang pace cars. Make its way down onto the safety of pit lane for the final time tonight. Before the race is over, at least. As Chris Hutchinson, championship and race here, and lead the field back to the green flag with his teammates lined up on the inside. Maybe, strategy. I wonder if he's going to let him in. Oh, 38 is going to go, and the one is going to let him in. Guarantee it. They go on the restart, and sure enough, the strategy, Chris Hutchinson are going to get clear of Jason Papp, and he's going to drop down low in front of him and just now hit me. So now they're going to have all three of them lined up on the inside, and Super Coney going to try to battle them for that race lead as well, though, and almost some contact right there. Aggressive out of Chris Hutchinson. He's going to kind of remember here, though. He's battling for a championship and not just a race win, as I pulled the ticker there. 3 laps to go from Daytona. Not much time left. Eric Reinhardt going to go through wide for the middle, but going to take it through wide. It looks like actually Tommy Goss on the outside, as he is that damage. He needs to get pushed, though, by somebody if he wants to have a shot at this, but unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. He's going to fall in line now behind Tommy Goss. McConey tries to get clear of Chris Hutchinson, not quite able to get down in front of him there, but not Jason Papp. Brandon Wilson, his team is going to try to push him to the race lead here and to the championship win. 2 laps to go for Daytona. Greg McConey lead the field back to that green, back almost to the white flag. I'm kind of getting mixed up here. As now Brandon Dennis going to get clear. He's going to drop down low. Now here comes Eric Reinhardt with the outside run. Going to try to push Tommy Gossett here and get himself up alongside and ahead of Chris Hutchinson, but does not have to quite do that as he has that damage. Does not have the run he needs. There's some contact right there between him and Jason Papp. Now down low, 3 wide. Chris Hutchinson took it 3 wide below Brandon Dennis, but does not have the run right there. And now he's going to back up it. This time by, we're going to see the white flag as your 2 championship drivers move side by side, trying to battle neck and neck here. Right, really now up there behind Eric Reinhardt. That might just be what he needs, but Chris Hutchinson comes up and doors him a little bit, looks like. White flag from Daytona. Currently, Greg McConey hold on to the race lead. The championship battle is just as important, obviously not if not more important, as they're. Oh, he's gonna hook him! Oh no! Chris Hutchinson gonna get right hooked by Eric Reinhardt, and Eric Reinhardt looks like he's gonna cruise away with it. That was for the championship, and now for the race win. Greg McConey holds on the race lead. I do believe race officials will probably step in on that one, but. Greg McConey holds on the race. He's going to push by Brandon Dennis, but can Jason Papp and Tommy Gossett have a run on the outside? Here goes Ryan. Really the great run. He's going to get chopped, though. Contact. Around goes Brandon Dennis down to the outside wall. Ryan with a huge run. Goes to the outside in front of McConey. Trying to block him. He turns himself. Tommy Gossett is going to come through, and he's going to win here from Daytona. Jason Papp, second. Brandon Wilson, third. But Tommy Gossett, that number 3 machine, goes to victory lane for the final time, the final chance he had this season in the finale race. He wins the race, but now the championship, as they all crash again across the line, unofficially goes to Eric Reinhardt. But again, we saw that contact there between him and Chris Hutchinson in that final lap. And now we're to look now at the replay of that. As obviously, I'm not sure what officials were exactly going to do about that one. As you're going to see right here, Eric Reinhardt on the outside, behind Tommy Gossett, and he just, speed up here a little bit for you guys. See, he's trying to get the side draft on him, and a bit of net code, it looks like. Oh no. Yeah, it was a little bit of net code. I don't know if he was trying to get the side draft getting close as possible, but it honestly, it looked like a little bit of netcode right there from that angle. It looked like he didn't make contact and gets hooked up on the outside wall. Ryan was able to save it. Great save by him. Great job at Chris Jr. and Ryan Coe to miss him, but I just... It was netcode, it looked like. I can't really tell. It's going to be hard for these guys to try to determine that because obviously you don't want to see, something get right hooked out of the championship. Chris Richfield, of course, probably fuming right now. And, definitely cannot blame him at all. But, I mean, I can't... It's just hard to tell because it didn't look like they even touched. So I try to get another look at it here. You can see just 7-10 goes down the racetrack trying to get that side draft. This is his job. This is what he needs to do. And it just, it does not look like they even touched. But they get hooked together. Then, of course, we look at the last lap here. Ryan really looked like he had this race won, honestly. He's sitting back here in 5th place at the moment. And he's actually back in 7th place before that crash took place. But, so the contact there went back straightaway between Brandon Dennis and Tommy Gossett. But then, Ryan really makes the run to the inside below Jason Papp for that 4th spot. To the way now goes down below, and you see the 95 come up the track into Tommy Gossett to try to get clear, but he's not quite clear. Then Ryan Worley sneaks in front of him. He has the spot. Ruben McConey tries to block. He's not clear. Comes up across the nose of Ryan Worley. And then Ryan Worley gets taken out right there. And unfortunately, David kind of piles in. But Tommy Gossett makes it through the middle of all that. And he's going to take the win here from Daytona.
User joined your channel.
Hey, Lucas, give us like a minute or two to...
10-4. As you see right here, contact there between the 38 and from that angle, it looks like they kind of touched, but again, it was so close, it's just hard to really tell, and I hate to use it, but I think we're going to have to, is go on the chase camera here and really get a good look at this and try to determine what exactly it was. You can see right here, 38 and the 7-10, and it's hard to tell from that angle right there. You see, it just, it looked like if it was netcode, it was probably about an inch, if not less. And it's just really hard to tell. And obviously, I don't think this 7-10 did anything intentional right there. He was just trying to side draft, and unfortunately, just gets too close on somebody's corner panel, and it hooks him around sometimes. But really tough to say for that. For sure, it's very frustrating. So I'm going to try to determine that one as well. But and then you see the battle down the straightaway here. And then going through turns number 3 and 4, Brandon Dennis tries to come up. He's not quite clear. He goes hooked to the outside of the wall. His Tommy Gossett kind of came down a little bit as well, but kind of just raced an incident right there. And then Super Ryan really comes up in front of him. Looks like he has the race won, but then the 12 comes across his nose and hooks him around and wrecks him. So it goes through the grass. So now Tommy Gossett gets the race win. He's perhaps 2nd, and Brandon Wilson at 3rd. So race officials still trying to determine who exactly is going to be awarded with the championship here, as obviously a very tough call to make, to say the least. Return of a champion and all that. It's very hard to make a call for sure. So obviously they're going to do a very thorough evaluation and everything, and see what exactly they're able to determine. There's a good replay here. I got to doing some return donuts right there, of course. I guess we're waiting for the official word, at least. We try to get an interview here with the race winner, Tommy Gossett, who's out to drivers 2nd and 3rd place are currently race officials trying to determine the champion here. So, remember the podcast booth now. Tommy
User
Gassi
was
got a
moved
copy.
to your channel.
Yes, sir, I do.
So, Tommy, you kind of wait a little bit here to get your first win in the iRacing Series, and the very final chance for season number 1. You're able to get the job done, and just absolutely crazy finish there, to say the least. On a white flag, we saw a lot of crashes behind you, and even in front of you, and even a part of you as 95, of course, and you made contact there, but just absolutely a chaotic finish there, to say the least. But you look at the job done and win the race here after starting in the front row and finishing in that top position. Just walk us through that white flag there.
Oh man, the white flag was crazy. I mean, obviously I was the cause of the last caution. I got bumper hook going through the tri-oval, kept it off the wall. Had to make a couple moves to come up through the field. Going into 2, I didn't think I had a help because 710 behind me was damaged. Then I saw a 710 hook. I think it was the 38. I was like, oh, I for sure ain't going to win now. I don't have no help. Then I was trying to side draft the 95, and then the net code happened, as you could see, because he went through my hood. He spun around, and the 26 got by me, and I didn't know the 26 and the 12 were going to wreck. I just cut down low, hoping something would happen, and sure enough, it did. And I was just barely low enough to skirt on through and get my win.
Yeah, and it was very reminiscent of a crash or a finish recently at Daytona. I believe it was in the Cup cars, however, when you almost got the victory. You ended up coming second, just shy of as Ryan Rowe was able, Chris Hutchberry was able to hang on to it. But everybody kind of wrecking there, and just late blocking coming through the finish there, and it was deja vu pretty much. But this time, luckily for you, able to be ahead of it all, or be directly behind it and miss it. And yeah, definitely a wheelman out there, to say the least, for sure. You had some great saves. You saw that one there through the trial for the first time when you kept it off the inside wall, and then the job by you to not hit the outside wall right there in that crash. Just walk us through those couple scary moments.
Those 2 weren't even the scariest. Those were all up to me and my ability to be able to save the car. The scariest is when the 33 LePaged the field. I heard I heard it over my headset that my spotter was calling it out that he was having too much momentum, so I just stopped, and I was lucky enough I didn't get ran over, so I was able to save my fast repair. And then later in the race, I got involved in an incident with the 8, and I had my fast repair for then. So it was just 3 big saves is what won me this race, to be able to keep me in position there, because to be able to win these things, you have to be there at the end.
Yeah, absolutely, and the 100-lap race here at Daytona longer than we usually see, of course, with it being the finale with that extra length added. Did it feel like it really took a toll on the drivers here tonight and kind of felt a lot different?
For me personally, no, because I've been doing training for the upcoming Daytona 500s. I'm going to be logging over 1,800 miles in a Cup car at Daytona over the next week. So the mileage factor really wasn't a factor to me, because this is half distance of what I'm used to now. So I can't speak for other drivers. You'd have to ask them, but for me, no, it wasn't.
Absolutely, and I'm sure you have some shout-outs and thank yous you want to give here. But, of course, the biggest part of this is that now you've won the final race of Season 1. You get to take this victory and be the final winner, or the reigning winner, I should say, for the next few weeks before we kick off Season 2. And, obviously, great momentum heading into the next season as you look to try to battle for a championship, as unfortunately this season you missed the most of the part of the season. But any shout-outs and thank yous you want to give here after you win here tonight?
Yes, I want to thank Carly Nagel Photography, V2 Design, Main Intel, Boss House, and Cowboy Magic. And obviously, I want to thank God for being able to bring me back in this position to do this, because I'm sure you know, and most people know, about all the struggles I went through over the last 7 months.
Absolutely.
I just reviewed it a little bit under this.
Absolutely appreciate your time here, Tyler. Congratulations on the win, and we'll see you here for season number 2.
All right. And thank you for all you do, Lucas. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
User
Absolutely.
disconnected from your channel.
Because he had to go there, but anyway, Tommy Gossett, the race winner here tonight from Daytona. And still race officials communicating, trying to figure out exactly where everybody finished. But as far as championship points go, but still the race results here so far as a non-official results, of course. Tommy Gossett, your race winner, Jason Papp finishing in second, Brandon Wilson in third, Chris Jr. in fourth, Ryan Keller puts up the top 5 here tonight. Ryan really finishes sixth, and forced getting blocked there by Greg McConey, who finishes seventh. Coming to the finish, luckily he had the race won and got turned. Taz Kessler finishes in eighth, and I don't even know how he finished 8th. Esco with a great rebound there, to say the least, at the end, as his car was completely destroyed. He was able to avoid those crashes and come on with an 8th place finish as a completely destroyed race car. So great job by Taz Custer, and he actually almost got around his teammate Riccone for 7th. Eric Reinhardt finishes 9th there after that contact, and at the current moment, he is your champion, but we're going to see how that all plays out between him and the 38 after, of course, that contact happened. Brennan Dennis in the 95. He's going to round out your top 10. Then finished 11th here tonight. Chris Perry, of course, the other Chase driver, so he still could be the champion, but as of right now, he finishes 2nd in the point standings. Anthony Alfredo in 12th place, 4 laps after the really rough night. Unfortunately, Douglas Carlson, the same for him, 13th. Zach Borden finishes 14th. David Stewart, 15th. Cody Smith, 16th. Xavier Trapp, 17th. Bobby Hash finishes 18th, 42 laps. Dan Russ Nash, and the number 6 machine finishes off in 19th. Roy Geeson rounds out your top 20. 21st here tonight, Chris Ingles in the number 5. He's finishing off in P21, 66 laps down. Jeff McConey, one of your Chase drivers, unfortunately got taken out there in the first 2 crashes of the race, and he's going to finish at 22nd. Taylor Khan, unfortunately, kind of killed the whole field right there after a freak accident, to say the least. He finishes just at 23rd and 4th in the championship standings, and it's all said and done. Diego Vasquez finishes 24th. Dylan Murphy finishes 25th of having some connection issues, and then Will Runhammer and Jeff Spooner not taking a lap here tonight. So that's going to do it for race results, but still, of course, waiting on who will be the champion, who's going to finish off in 2nd. So still waiting to hear that from race officials. As, again, very thorough. They have to be very thorough on this, as there's a lot on the line. The championship and a huge trophy, to say the least. So definitely a very thorough job they have to do here. It's going to be really tough to call, of course. Champion on the paper is the Southern Lieutenant Eric Reinhardt, but, he kind of hooked Chris Ishipare there, but then I had to take into consideration, was it netcode? Did he do it, intentionally? Is it just kind of a racing accident? And it's really, really tough to call, because you feel like it's not fair to the 38, Chris Ishipare, if you go in favor of the Southern Lieutenant Eric Reinhardt, since, he basically got dumped, but then look at the Southern Lieutenant Eric Reinhardt, and he technically is the champion, and is there. It's really a really tough call to make, and especially for a champion. A typical accident, may result in a penalty of Eric Reinhardt, but it's not as much as trying to determine the champion off of it. So, a really tough call by race officials to make, and obviously they're probably going to make the right call. But we're going to wait and see what exactly happens there as far as that goes, and it's going to be a very tough call, as mentioned, just to try to determine the champion, based off of a judgment call by race officials and what they feel like should be the case. And obviously they're going to do a great job, as they usually do in this series, and we're still just waiting for their conversation to finish up, and we're going to see the official word as to who is the champion. Stomagasa doing a poised victory lap here. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're right back after this to try to get a word in and see where we finishes as far as the settings goes. So we're right back after these messages.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
I want to leap over buildings, want to fly over the shores, faster than a lightning flash, rushing through the cool night air. So start ignition, count to 0. I just wanna be a superhero.
Hey, what's up, guys? Scott Speed here at the iRacing headquarters. Some exciting news about the upcoming Rallycross World Championship. They've got a wild card entry, and yours truly is going to get that spot. See you guys out on the track.
Team racing allows multiple iRacing members to team up and race together, just like in real-world endurance series. Teammates can share driving duties, spot for one another, or be a crew chief. Team racing is free both to join a team and to create one. Each teammate races on his or her own computer from wherever they want to. Your teammates can be anywhere in the world, and changing drivers mid-race is as easy as a click of a button. iRacing features team endurance events ranging from just a couple of hours to 24 hours in length. So, if you fancy taking part in an iRacing endurance race in the future, you can learn more about team racing on the teams page on the member website.
We're almost out of fuel. You'll have to come in for a splash. Three, two, one, now. All clear. Punch it. Great job. You did really well.
When I was 16 years old, I was working at a Goodyear tire store, and my boss actually built an old dirt car, street stock Monte Carlo. Went with him one night, fell in love with it. It was a hell of a race, hell of a party, and a big fight afterwards. I was like, this is it. This is it for me. It wasn't long after that, I was driving an old 78 Camaro out of the weeds at that guy's farm. We pulled that thing out and made a race car out of it, and away we went. You know, I think a driver has more to do with the equation going back and racing dirt, whether it's a modified, a late model. You can do more with the race car. You know, the harder you drive it, a lot of times, the better it goes. You can crawl up on that wheel and feel like you made the difference at the end of the night. Asphalt car, you can't overdrive them. Well, that was the first thing that I had to learn right off the bat is, oh my gosh, I've got to discipline myself, not overdrive this thing, and that's how you get the most out of it. Truth be told, communicating the right information to your crew and your crew chief so they can do their job and make their appropriate adjustments for you to go faster and do your job is probably 90% of the game in our world. I've always loved late models. You know, my dream was to be a late model driver driving for a living across the country like Daryl and Don do that drive for me. I mean, that was, truth be told, that was my dream, you know. I always wanted a semi. I always wanted a stacker trailer with 2 hot rods in it, and let's go racing. Let's take off with your buddies and go race and chase that dream. Never in a million years did I think it would turn into a Cup Series, and I actually have an opportunity to own 2 dirt late model teams. When you think of iRacing, you don't think of a video game. It's not. It's way above and beyond any of that. You know, dirt racing changes so much. The track changes so much. Being able to capture that, to experience all those details that surround dirt racing and make dirt racing what it is what makes iRacing so cool, because they did nail all of that. I knew when they came to our shop and scanned cars and went to the detail of getting that car right, I knew that it was going to be over the top, because it blew my mind just the work that went into making sure the car itself was legit. This sport has been around a long time. The competition can't be replaced, and that's what brings people back to the racetrack week in and week out.
Well, we're live here to Daytona after a long wait. Thank you everybody for staying with us, as the decision has been made by race officials as to who the champion is. So one of the admins will remember the former driver, actually, and probably will be driving next season, bring the brackets booth quickly and have the official release as to who is the champion.
User
Got a
was
copy,
moved
Will.
to your channel.
Yeah, I got you, Lucas.
So, of course, race official going to deliver the news as to who the champion is here, the 7-10 or the 38 of Chris Etchepair.
Okay, so after much deliberation by our 3 admins, we did not come to a decision, us 3. So we brought 5 racers of this league into our room to contemplate the decision, and they decided to let them have a vote and give their reasons and talk about it. And these racers were not on either driver's team, so they were as unbiased as possible. It was a unanimous decision. Your iRacing East Series champion is the 38 of Chris Etchepair.
Alright, it's Chris Etchepair takes home the championship, and you see the replay of the accident right now. So appreciate your time on that announcement, that Will, and we'll see you in a few weeks when you come back to the racing.
Thank you so much.
User was moved out of your channel.
So now we're going to get a word in with Chris Etchepair, your iRacing East Series inaugural champion here. We're going into the broadcast booth now. Chris Etchepair, got a copy.
Your channel.
I got a copy.
So, Chris, in pretty odd fashion, you are, however, crowned the champion here of the iRacing East Series. You get that trophy mailed to you in a week or so, I'm guessing, and obviously the inaugural champion here of the iRacing East Series. Just talk to us about the whole race, what happened there in the last lap.
Yeah, the whole race, I just talked to my teammates and made a plan just to stay in the back. And it's a 100-lap race. We know there's gonna be cautions. We know that people are gonna be aggressive, and it took a while for the first caution to come out, which I'm very pleased that it took a while. But yeah, just the whole plan for the whole race was just stay in the back, race clean, and just keep our noses clean. And towards about the last 30 laps, when maybe 15 cars on the lead lap, I decided, man, I'm just gonna be in the top 10, top 5, and just be up there, have my car up there. The last lap, I really don't want to talk about it. It was just don't want to talk about the last lap.
Understandable, of course, but again, overall, a great season for you. You had 2 wins on the season, so definitely a great roster there for you and great statistics. And again, obviously taking home the championship, definitely fantastic by far. And looking forward to next season. What your plans are, and what do you think? Trying to go back to back.
Oh, plans is to go back to back, but in a cleaner way without all this hassle. That's my plan. Yeah, my plan is to get at least one win next season. I'm not looking for any more than one win, but I'm gonna fight for the win. I'm gonna be more aggressive. I know this season because I haven't raced with these guys. I was playing it safe for most of the season, and then now I know everyone drives. I can do what I need to do.
Absolutely. Again, congratulations on your championship here tonight, Chris, and we'll see you here next season and in just a few weeks.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to you guys broadcasting it. You guys do a fantastic job week in, week out with all your leagues. So thank you.
Absolutely. I appreciate it.
User was moved
So
out
there's
of your
number
channel.
38, missing Chris Edgepair. I'm we're gonna bring in Eric Reinhardt, but unfortunately, looks like he is not. Looks like he unfortunately left the TeamSpeak. But I know we're going to quickly try to figure out who we can interview here with second and third place finishers here tonight for Wilson and Jason Papp. Get word in here in the third place finisher tonight, Brandon Wilson.
User
Brandon
was
Wilson,
moved
got a
to your
copy.
channel.
Yep, I got you.
So, Brandon, I kind of held back towards most of the race there, trying to stay out of trouble and keep your nose clean, and it paid off for you at the end of the race. You look at a solid third-place finish. It was all said and done, and all the chaos that took place in that white flag lap. But working with your teammates there, you had Cruz Jr. up there, your teammate Jason Papp, and then, of course, Chris Westpair, the champion now. Just walk us through those final 30 laps or so, all that chaos kind of happening, how you were able to get to a solid third-place finish and help your teammate to a championship.
Man, that was a crazy race to say the least. I mean, it was just wild. But yeah, the last 30 laps, we kind of still stayed to the plan, staying back because we kind of felt like there was going to be another caution. So we were just there to get Chris up front and either win this race or get in front of whoever he needs to finish out in front of. So that was the plan all night, and it just kind of worked out to our favor, where all of us were up front there at the end. So.
Absolutely, and of course, you had a great season overall. Definitely, you won a race early on in the season. We're contending and winning poles pretty much left and right. And unfortunately for you, the pace kind of fell off there a little bit as we got into the chase a little bit, but still a solid points finish for you. I do believe you got somewhere in the top 10. My apologies, I don't know exactly where it was, but just talk about the season as a whole and what your plans are going into next season.
Yeah, man, it's been a really a great season. Jason and I got this league together, and it just kind of took off from there, and we just started gradually getting more drivers in, and it's grown over the season, and we're definitely happy with the participation and all the drivers and stuff. I know things happen during races that it's the heat of the moment kind of thing. And that's great because we like people to be competitive and just not giving up. So it's been a great season, and I look forward to getting season 2 going here.
Absolutely, and so aren't we, of course. And I'm sure you have some sponsors and thank yous you'd like to give here after your third place finish and after season one's in the books.
Absolutely, man. I definitely appreciate DCH Crane coming on board with us this season, and Express Auto Salon as well. Bottled Up came in. That's the podcast there, and Taz Customs came aboard too. We definitely appreciate that, and I appreciate Jason. He's kind of took this thing and led with it. He's done a great job, and definitely look forward to next season and having you broadcast our races too, man. You do a great job.
Absolutely, I appreciate it. Again, congratulations on your third place finish here tonight, Brandon, and I look forward to next season.
Thanks, man. See y'all.
User was moved
So
out
that was
of your
our other
channel.
Formula One machine, Brandon Wilson, finishing off in a solid podium finish here tonight. Third place, and starting back in 20th place with 7 laps here tonight. But now, the driver of the number 1 machine, Jason Papp, also one of your race officials as well. But your run-up finisher here tonight from Daytona. Just Papp, got a copy.
Moved to your channel.
Yeah, Lucas.
So, Jason, I managed to run out the season in a pretty solid place finish, runner-up, of course, leading 3 laps. I had some you had an interesting night for sure, kind of roller coaster night. You started towards the back, and I believe actually kind of lost the draft to start off the race. And it was kind of a pretty tough night for you for the first half or so. Be able to get back through that and balance that adversity to get towards the front there at the end. It looked like all 4 of your team was up there and trying to battle for the championship, of course, with the Patricia pair, and trying to battle for the race win with the 3 of the rest of you guys. But just walk us through that race, walk us through the whole season now that it's in the books, and what are you looking forward to most next season?
Yeah, my strategy this week, this race was to try to help the 38 in any way I could, but also not do anything stupid that would affect the 4 drivers that were battling for the championship. So I kind of just hung out in the back. Uh, uh, the ending of the race, I don't think anybody in a million years could have wrote that the way that it was. Uh, I'm very proud of the our first season, the drivers that we've gained, the friendships that we've made. Uh, it- I look forward to every Friday night. Um, I hope they have the same group of guys back next season. It's been an absolute blast.
Absolutely, and of course, Blue's kicking off in about, what, 3 weeks or so?
We're actually going to aim for 2 weeks. We're working on finishing up some sponsorship stuff and finalizing the schedule.
Alrighty, well, sounds good. Any other shout-outs that you'd like to give here after your second place finish and season 1 now is done and out of the way?
Uh, I do want to thank DCH Crane for being our primary sponsor for this season, our first season. Express Auto Salon, bottled up with Jeff McConey, who does a great job on his podcast, and Taz Racing Customs. He does an incredible job on some custom die casts and haulers, and my wife for letting me race every Friday night.
Alrighty, well, I appreciate your time here, Jason, and I'll let you back to the official stuff you have to do there as an official. But and congratulations on your second place finish here tonight, and we'll see you here in 2 weeks for race number 1 in season 2.
Alrighty, thank you, Lucas. I appreciate it, man. You did a great job.
Thank you.
User was moved out of your
So
channel.
that was Jason Papp and Brandon Wilson finishing off second and third place here tonight. Definitely a pretty crazy finish to say the least there overall. Looks like Eric Reinhardt actually has come back from the dead. I'm gonna check it. We're in here with him now, finishing second in the point standings after it was all said and done. After the league officials had to make a tough call there. Gonna bring in now that Son Lieutenant Eric Reinhardt. Eric Reinhardt got a copy.
To your channel.
How's it going, Lucas?
Doing pretty good, and unfortunately for you, not the entire night you wanted. Definitely finally there for the championship, and unfortunate contact there between you and the 38 of Chris Hutchipare, and what was contact is debatable, but obviously just, you had the damage there at the end. You were, trying to get the side draft, and you didn't have much help from behind that you really needed to try to put that thing into the championship victory lane. And unfortunately for you, it just did not go your way. And you still a solid second place finish here tonight, or in the season at least, ninth place finish in the race. Just walk us through the season as a whole and what happened in the last lap.
The season's been an interesting season, and the last lap, that was just racing. That was just straight up racing. I had damage. If I wasn't riding his side, I would have fallen way back. I don't really understand the call on that race. It's the only race that we've ever had. If we look throughout the season, we've seen lots of wrecks at the finish line. If everybody says that it's just a racing incident, it's just a racing incident. The first person to the end wins, but it is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely, and obviously very tough call by race officials, and again, unfortunately, just did not go your way, and still a solid second place finish in the point standings. Obviously, you look forward to next season starting here in just 2 weeks, and trying to reclaim that title, and try to fight for another one here, and try to kind of make up, I guess, for this one. But obviously, out of the four guys coming to this race, what did you feel like your chances were trying to go for the championship here tonight?
It's just, I was just riding. I was just riding, seeing how it goes. I had a little bit of help from Jason earlier. He pushed me when I lost the pack because of my front end damage, and that was nice. Other than that, being a single driver, it makes it difficult when you don't have anybody that helps you. I had people dropping out from behind me, jumping lines to actually leave me behind, and it's just the way that it goes, I guess.
Absolutely, and I guess again, 2 weeks we go to season 2. We look forward to the most about next season.
Oh, definitely, Lucas.
Alrighty, any shout-outs that you have to give here after your ninth place finisher tonight?
Oh yeah, definitely thank DCH Crane and Express Auto Salon for sponsoring the league, and Jason Papp for putting it on, and LCTV for the broadcast.
Alrighty, we'll see you here in 2 weeks for season number 2 and your redemption season, I guess.
Most definitely.
Alright, have a good one.
User was moved out
So
of
as
your
Eric
channel.
Reinhardt and the number 710 machine, we already went through the race results. We don't have to go through that once again, but we appreciate everybody watching here tonight. A lovely Friday nights, and again next week, Taylor Frey is going to take over for me as I head to this racetrack, actually, at Daytona. So next week for the Unreal Esports Super Truck Cup Series, they head to the Monza Oval for some crazy racing there. The only time that Monza's on the schedule this season. Definitely looking forward to that for you guys to watch, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. So Taylor Frey is actually going to take over for me, doing his first broadcast here on LCTV. He's over there doing his own broadcast on his own channel. He's going to come over and do the broadcast over here, so we have the same overlay and everything, but just a different commentator, maybe some different settings and whatnot as far as iRacing goes, but nothing huge deal, and it's going to be absolutely fun for you guys. Can't wait to watch it after I get back home. But it's going to be absolutely fantastic watching the Super Truck Cup Series. They head to the Monza Oval. Then week after Monday night Ashburn Cup Series again. I'll still be doing that for you guys. Then the next week it's going to be debatable. It's going to be me or Taylor. But we're going to try to get that for you. That will be at Phoenix, but this week's at Las Vegas. Then, of course, the Sports Super Truck Cup Series heads to Daytona the week following. Then we get back to Atchison, and then back to the iRacing Series for season number 2. So we can't wait to look forward to all of that. We're going to be back on board as you're there for season number 2 here. So excited about that, and looking forward to taking it off here once again from the very unique series. It's so much fun broadcasting this series. The first season of this series, obviously a new league starting up, and they had a lot of drivers grow and enjoying going throughout the season. It was very fun to watch and had some fantastic races all season long. Produced some amazing plate racing. The uniqueness of the series with all these different cars, the Can-Am, the truck, Xfinity, and Cup, and then all these different tracks. They head to Talladega and Daytona, but then every fifth race, they change it up and have a league vote what it should be. You got a short track, you got a mile and a half, you got a 2-mile oval. It was so much fun to watch all the changes. Road course, it was so much fun, and I'm so glad that they were able to be a part of it and broadcast it for you and for them, and we appreciate everybody. That is first season. Unfortunately, I did not have the sponsors added yet to this OBS. We heard that DCH Crane, Express Auto Salon, Taz Racing Customs, bottled up, all official partners of the iRacing series. We appreciate everybody watching here tonight and watching all season long. We're to see you here for season number 2, and of course Monday Night Xfinity Cup Series as well. This is LCTV. Have a good night.